Roy, I want to start with your company, IGN. First of all, remind me what IGN stands for, what it does, what it is as a company, what it's part of, and so on.
So IGN's a 14-year-old company that was born as a side project at a magazine publisher to start making some websites. And what's evolved over time from a community of fans who happen to start writing about video games, because that's what they cared about, is now a media company for video games. And so we've got the largest audience of video gamers in the world, and IGN today reaches 24 million people in the US and 50 around the world, and we're about enjoying games.
I want to go really high level on gaming, and I'd like you to explain where we are in the gaming world. So at one end we have the traditional packaged software games that go on consoles, and on the other hand we have these newfangled social games. So who are the winners and who are the losers right now?
There is an explosion in competition. I think the platforms are clearly winners. So Facebook, clearly a winner.
And this is because Facebook's a winner in part because they figured out a way to take a toll from Zynga and others in the form of administering how people pay for virtual goods on Zynga games, right?
So I think that's how they're making their money. Why they're winning is because they made themselves necessary to a certain kind of gameplay. They made it so that if you created a game, at least a game that can live there, and you wanted to find other people to play it, they create a platform where you can find people. And so that toll that they charge is the way that they get their value out of making that necessary system. GameStop is a platform as a retailer, that continues to be a winner in the traditional space. And so the platforms are clearly winners. Independent content creators who have a hit, or even talented teams that maybe the world hasn't heard of, like Rovio, the makers of Angry Birds, they are winners because when you have a successful piece of content, you can now get it to millions of people very quickly, make money right away. You have standard business terms in place. Yes, Apple takes 30%, but you don't have to wait for months to get a meeting with somebody who has to agree that your game has potential. You can just put it out there. And so that changes the dynamics very significantly for the industry.
So you mentioned two platforms, Facebook and Apple. Who else matters right
now?
Well,
I think the console platforms continue to matter.
Tick them off.
Yes, so Microsoft with Xbox, Sony with PlayStation, and Nintendo continue to matter. And they matter because what they have is access to the living room, and there is something really powerful about seeing a game on a big screen with sound all around you that drops you in it emotionally, that can delight you, terrify you in a way that's hard on a smaller screen, when you're looking at a mobile phone. And people who play games are willing to pay for that emotional immersion. They're willing to pay for escape. They're willing to play for the mastery that you can feel when you've just conquered, some enemy that is 6 feet tall in your imagination and, on a big screen in your living room.